What's up, guys? I'm Josh.
I'm Marissa.
And I'm Renjarel.
And welcome back to Let's Plays Animes,
the channel where we cover
anime, animations, and video games.
Dope.
And welcome back, guys, to our 9th episode of Season 2 of My Hero Academia. Last episode, we left off on all the mini matches. Those were pretty lit. There were some upsets here and there. Kaminari got wrecked. Ida got wrecked, but he won.
Not even right. It's like
yeah, he just got embarrassed pretty much.
Yeah.
He didn't get a fair fight. I hope that they give him like a better fight going forward, because that was not like, you know, showing of his abilities at all as like using his quirk to fight. So that will be really cool going forward. And welcome back. Just have like a couple like updates for you guys. First update, not episode. First update is for you guys Patreons. If you're watching this right now, if you're on the early, if this is on the regular release, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're a Patreon, you will be getting 2 episodes tomorrow instead of 1, because I didn't give you guys an episode on Wednesday. Sorry about that. And then as well, we might be taking a different kind of direction with the channel, just because of all the copyright stuff going on. I'm not absolutely sure what's going to be happening with that as of yet. I'm still kind of thinking about it and figuring things out, but I know that there also is going to be like a video game half to the channel, so maybe it'll just expand more into that, or maybe it'll just find a way to do reactions without, you know, putting the episode on there, which would suck for you guys who are getting the full reactions, because that's supposed to be like a combo type thing where they're together. But unfortunately, if we can't do it that way and not get copyrighted, then like that's just the way we're gonna have to figure out a way to do things. But with that being said, we'll get right into it. Bria's not here today because she was doing like a modeling shoot or something, so we'll catch her next time that we record.
My shiny teeth in me is not here.
Yeah. Forgot Chip Skylark is not here, so we will be getting right into it. But if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe and click the bell button to stay updated with our content.
And make sure you like this video if you enjoy it. And also follow us on all social media at LetsPlaysAnimes.
That was my line, I think.
Nigga, no, you do freaking personal social media. We go through
it
all the time.
All right, well, be sure to share with your friends and follow us on personal social media, even though it already passed.
Oh, Dad. Yeah, guys, just be sure to like, share the video with your friends. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the video. And be sure to follow our social medias that are down below as well. Also, if you guys want to get exclusive bonuses, be sure to check out our Patreon. Affords you like extra bonuses, like seeing the video ahead of time, joining the Discord that just got set up, so you guys check that out. If you're a Patreon already and you're seeing this video, go sync your Discord with your Patreon so that you can get into the Discord. And then there will also be live reactions and bloopers on there, which are also on live now. But with that being said, let's get started.
Get it! Yeah, that was a
hashtag not Sakura.
Oh, poor thing looks so nervous.
I like how
Bakugo
versus Uraraka.
Rock.
What is that? It's like crooked and everything.
Sis!
Aw, you're still cute though. You're still cute.
You should do her makeup.
You're the one that makes things.
She doesn't really have makeup like that.
Round
Except
You
face.
should do
pink
her
cheeks.
makeup right.
Oh.
If you're gonna withdraw, do it now. You won't get off with just an ouch.
Yeah, let me just step into the screen.
Typical Bakugo style.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he gave her a chance to surrender. It's kind of the same thing I said. If she can touch him, she can get it.
She can get it.
Oh,
She
they
can
cut him
get it.
off. He didn't finish.
That's
Swift
good.
attack. No, that's what he's saying. No, start to
Die.
die. Damn. Big right swing.
I bet you
Oh,
won't
he
do it.
winded up. Oh.
Uppercut, my nigga. He's gonna invade. Watch.
If I dodge here. Damn, he's still here. Daddy, you were just talking about blasting
Dada.
girls' clothes off. Yeah, she knew about it, but it doesn't matter. His reaction time is too good.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh. Uh-oh, substitution jutsu. Reaction speed, too good. He moved after he saw her. Yep, doesn't matter.
Yeah, the way he using his quirt is like kind of new. Oh,
yeah, he's like sending the explosion through the ground type thing.
And making a smoke screen. Like,
yeah. Damn.
Like, he's really smart. Bro.
How's she taking these explosions to the face?
He's
Well,
like,
gonna tell me your taste run in that direction.
Oh my.
Dead. He's the saddest.
I'm telling you, bro.
It seems like she keeps coming at him in the same way, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
She keep getting.
But I don't
maybe
really,
eventually he'll slip up.
I don't really have advice for her. I can't believe
Damn,
I can't believe they
face.
really said that he wouldn't do this to a girl. Like,
I'm like,
come on, look at him.
How can you say you want to be a hero?
You know what? That's kind of bad for him.
I mean, he's doing what he can though to prevent himself from losing. Oh, he elbowed him in the face. Was that a pro saying he's playing around? Ooh.
There we go.
Dang, he said go home and look at the change of careers. I'm worried about that. He's still focused on the match. Ooh, that look in her eyes.
He's like, she's still not dead.
I love that though.
It's about time. Thank you. Can't be hope from where Bakugo, but it's embarrassing for a pro to start booing without noticing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he said, "What an idiot." Pouring up weapons.
Ah, smart. I see.
Oh, let's go!
Oh,
Let's
that's
go.
so smart.
And then she going, oh my
Release it.
god.
But won't that hit her too? What?
Like, you should have noticed that.
They put her running
Okay.
counterattacking.
Oh, most of them are around him because she was blasting, or he was blasting him near him.
Yep.
Oh, she made herself lighter? Okay. I'll win and be like Deku? Dang.
What?
Damn. Bakugo's broken. Holy shit.
That's what.
That was really
What?
smart on her part, though.
Yeah, most definitely.
Very smart.
But that's crazy that it just didn't matter. He didn't move the whole time. Oh, he's shaking though.
That was close.
Keep going. He's shaking.
He is. He's just holding it.
Yeah, he's just playing it off. Get up.
So I can't quit, right?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
What the fuck happened?
She's fallen.
She done.
Oh shit.
She's done.
Pull a Rock Lee. Get up unconscious.
My body won't do what I want.
Come on, bruh. Damn, this is sad.
She blacking out and everything.
Oh, Midnight said chill, bruh.
Look at her eyes. Daddy.
Because I bet if she made it to his legs, he would still blast her
He would.
while she's on the ground. God damn.
Awkward.
That was your idea. That
Damn desperate point.
You just have to be annoying. If you thought that was annoying, that was because
Ooh.
you fell right into her plate. Oh, so he's respecting her, yeah. Hey!
Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking forward to.
Dang, they cracking the... Let's
Damn.
go! Kirishima.
Ooh.
Yes!
Whoa.
Let's go! Winner Kirishima.
Kirishima.
So in the end, we were all correct. Okay.
Damn.
Okay, Kirishima.
Okay, bro.
Yeah. I'll be watching, Keg. Oh, she said, "Don't do it for me." She's about to make me sad.
it for your girlfriend.
They kill me. They're so cute.
Do it for your girlfriend.
They don't even have like a full romance going on, but they're just so cute.
Oh, my dude came in clean.
I watched her fight. You have a wonderful. He barely saw it.
So much wind pressure just by flipping
What you're talking about?
Oh,
Is that comparable?
Yeah.
It is my Shoto's duty to surpass all my. Here we go. Oh, that blue flame looks lit. Will be a very instructive.
The way
test
he
then.
talks.
Please don't disgrace yourself. Oh,
He's
basically
trying to intimidate him.
give my son your full power. No, he's trying to say give him your full power because he's trying to force him into using the fire. I am not All Might. Woo!
Dang. Okay, Midoriya's back to back, like talking
Snap
shit to
bags.
everybody.
He said, I'm a
clap
beast
bags.
now.
These clap
He's
bags.
hitting everybody with the facts today.
Woo!
The man who won a huge victory in the first round literally left the audience frozen.
All right, Bae, let's go.
Midoriya, let's go.
But you too, Midoriya. I'm like,
Bruh, nah, one side.
But
You get one side.
Look at that look. He looks confident at the
Let's
same
go.
time. It's like weird.
Close to each other.
Yeah.
Starting off. Watch carefully and prepare, Shigaraki. He's like, yeah, these the top two, like, freshman candidates, pretty much. Oh, shit. Ah!
Her whole living
Oh,
room.
bro, she about to see her son turn up, bruh. Both have shown top-class performances. Woo!
And we thought Bakugo and Midoriya would be two great rivals, but Midoriya and... Woo!
That's messed up. What does that mean?
Motherfucker like...
He about to pull a Bakugo. Yeah!
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
No offense, guys. I don't even want to talk to you. I just want to go to the next
Yeah.
episode.
right now, ASAP is going to run it.
OD.
An hour special.
Just kidding. Sorry, guys. Well, of course, we'll talk to you.
That's crazy.
Super crazy. First off,
What's up, babe?
Yeah, Uraraka.
Oh, Uraraka, yeah.
she's so cute and so earnest. Everything she does is so genuine and sweet, and she really showed out. She really did. As much as she doesn't think she did, she was strong, very strong.
Yeah, she legit showed out until her body can't.
Yeah, and she was not even thinking about her body. She was like, no, Deku would, but then she was like, but my body.
Yeah, because like not once she was like
Yeah.
I mean, everything that she was doing was kind of like a what would Deku do thing, which showed that she really admires Deku. Also, like, she was about to make me cry at the part where she called her dad, because I know, like, how it is to, like, have, you know, and it's cool that she has, like, really supportive parents, because if she didn't, that could be, like, really, like, hurtful to her. But also, I thought she was going to pull a Rock Lee, like, as far as, like, Rock Lee getting up after Gaara, she's about to be like,
oh, yeah.
with the eyes, like, I mean, that wouldn't really work against Bakugo, because Bakugo just would have popped her.
In the end, he really just overwhelmed her. But what I love is how, the way that she ran towards him, the way that she kept running at him, like, with a low stance, I thought that was cool.
Oh,
yeah, but that's what Bakugo wanted her to be in the low stance. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Didn't they say it? Didn't they mention it? I think they mentioned it.
I don't know.
No, like, pretty much Midoriya just said that the whole time he was leading her around. Oh.
I don't want to see
I
it.
really don't want to see it. I don't know why we watching it. Josh, you can watch it.
I want to wait for the
yeah,
moments.
I'm mad that I caught 2 seconds.
He's
of it.
mad.
I am like,
Is it
what the
done?
fuck? No, I'm not watching this preview.
I'm dead.
I'm not watching this preview. You
Next
got it.
time,
I'm
Shoto
dedicated.
Todoroki
I'm
or
dedicated.
dead.
dead.
I don't know what the
Alright,
fuck
cool.
I'm doing.
I'm dead.
But yeah, her basically what
I'm tripping. What you
what
doing?
we predicted about
I'm dead.
him overwhelming her was just true. He just overwhelmed her with brute force.
Yeah.
That was it, you know.
That's what I said. I knew it was gonna be like Hinata and Neji fight
Yeah.
from the very beginning, bro. It's just.
I mean, it's kind of different though, because like Hinata and Neji fight was
Man,
like Neji using extreme. I mean, it's same with like a genius versus like a girl that's not that strong.
But
like
the whole time that Hinata fighting Neji, what she was kept thinking about.
Naruto, but like, okay, so I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying, but it's like Neji was using like extreme force against Hinata because he hated her. Like, Bakugo didn't go into the match with, like, any dislike towards her.
Right.
He was actually just trying his best to win. Because he knew that. And there was no point where Neji was, like, threatened.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? By him not. But the whole time that, like, Bakugo was in that match, he was threatened by the presence of Uraraka's
that's the only difference was that. But then, like, the way she fainted and then she got carried off by the cart. Hinata did the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, it felt the same thing.
Yeah.
Except for Bakugo didn't want to kill. Or he's like,
in Neji's case, it was just a lot more, like, actually deadly.
Yeah.
Because, like, when he hit her in, like, the heart chakra point, stuff like that.
Yeah, because, like, he was.
And she coughed up blood.
Yeah, he was
like,
the most.
I mean, also, like, this is a sports festival versus, like, a tuning exam where they encourage, like, if your opponent dies, oh well. Yeah. Versus, like, we're literally saying don't use any extreme force moves.
Like, fucking Raku was about to die. So who jumped in?
But see, that was the cool part.
Yeah.
That was the cool part too. We saw Bakugo once again show his other side where he acknowledges and respects somebody's power.
He was actually being very mature the entire fight. Like when he said, you know, at the very beginning of the match, a lot of people might take it as like an asshole thing, but at the very beginning of the match, he was like, "If you're gonna surrender, do it now, because I'm not gonna let you off with just an ouch."
And that was like the most. Like, he was really quiet too.
That was the most respectful that he's been towards any opponent or adversary yet.
And he was not like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you."
Exactly, and I think that shows a big growing point for him. I think we really got to see how far he's come, encountering all these different students and all these different quirks, and coming face to face with them. I think he's grown a lot more mature and respectful. The fact that he's maybe not the only challenging one out there, you know,
like just putting a little like. Well, water on his fire, his internal fire of like, I'm the best, like,
which makes him smarter in battle, as we saw.
Like his loss to Midoriya, his second place in the Rivalry battle, his third place in the first round, like it's kind of humbling him, you know, just setting him up for further greatness, because once you're able to humble yourself, you're able to go further with what your talent is or what your life goal is.
And even though he was slick one step ahead, thinking like, oh, she been hanging out with Deku a lot, I know that Deku probably taught her like a trump card type thing.
Right.
But even though that wasn't the case, he still thought
about
ahead.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Still thought of that's a possibility, and that's really dope. And then how he counterattacked that whole thing.
Yeah, his like freaking like his quirk is so broken. Like that huge explosion that he was able to do, like he didn't even have to move. This man was like. Boom.
and also, like, I love seeing the new part of his quirk that he uses, using, like, a smoke screen and all that stuff. That shit really cool. Like, covering up, then the way he
You mean
attacked.
using the smoke screen to his advantage after his explosions?
Well, actually, it wasn't him that was doing it. It was him that was doing it with his powers, but she was the one using it.
To kind of
like the way he was attacking. That's what I'm trying to say. The way he
was attacking, he was like touching the ground with his explosion, which was like what was creating the smoke scene. Like he wasn't doing it intentionally, but it was actually because he did that like it's like kind of like this weird coin flip thing. It's like it's something that goes hand in hand, where he wouldn't have been able to beat Uraraka without doing his explosions like kind of long range like that, because she's not supposed to get close to him and touch him. So she can't get close to him. He has to use ground explosion, which creates a smoke screen, which she's able to use to hide herself and hide the rubble that she was sending up to the air, because she's basically like, as the rubble was exploding, touch, and he couldn't see it because the explosion. That's why when it finally started to fall, he's like, what? And she's like, thank you for not dropping your guard, because he kept his eyes on her the entire time. Like, it's kind of like how, you know, regular people don't look up when they're watching. That like, if something falls on somebody's head, like, they're not going to be able to be like, like, they're just going to get clobbered, usually. But yeah, setting up into the next match, we had Endeavor talking to Midoriya. He's basically like, and it wasn't even like really asshole, which like makes me not as mad towards Endeavor. Like it's like Endeavor seems to be one of those characters where you want to be really mad about him, but like the way that he just came at Deku was actually very respectful. He was just like, I see that your power is really strong. I want my son to use his fire core, even though he wants that for like an asshole reason of like, you know, using Todoroki to vicariously like, you know, do his own goal. But he did come at Midoriya. Like, as far as Midoriya, maybe it just seems like he's just an asshole towards Todoroki. And everyone else he respects, and maybe that's why he's like the number 2 hero. But that's also kind of weird, because it's like, you know, having a parent that is like a sociopath, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone else looking in sees them as like, oh, you're the son of Endeavor. That's lit. Like life at home must be fine. You must get like the best training. Your dad must be so supportive. And then he's like, dude, my dad's an asshole.
And I feel like he has to like upkeep that image in a way, that socially acceptable image versus the asshole dad, because he's number 2 hero.
Yeah.
You know, what's his social image versus his image as an actual parent at home? That's the behind the scenes people probably don't see.
And it's also like that's a burden that it puts on. I'm like talking from experience here, like in real life, but it like also puts a burden on Todoroki, because if he comes forward, it's like, who will believe him?
Right.
Yeah.
His dad is the number 2 hero.
Oh yeah, of course, and they'll probably think he's just spoiled, like a spoiled kid.
And they'll be like, oh, this kid's having a tantrum, or
spoiled,
something like
strong, quirk-full kid.
Yeah. Also, though, but like me personally, how he came at Midoriya, I felt that. I think honestly, he do think he have a cool quirk. But I feel like he was buttering him in a way of like, yo, you have an awesome quirk, this. So yeah, do your best so you can use
his fire.
I feel like he definitely wants to use Midoriya to his advantage.
Yeah. So
he definitely said, "Don't embarrass yourself." Basically, go full power against my son, because then he'll see.
But I really think that he thinks Endeavor thinks that his son can even beat him only using ice, but he wants him to use fire.
I don't think so. Because
like
when you remember when he said previously that to Todoroki before he started his match with Sero, he was like, you'll soon reach the limits of that power. So he was talking about how the ice is not going to be enough. Like he's like, I know.
Right.
He's like, there's a reason why I made you with a fire side and the ice side, because one side is not going to be enough for you. Right. And he's like, in order for you to be the strongest or to be the best hero, like there are going to be people out there stronger.
Exactly, because he knows, because with All Might, does his fire quirk work? No, he's been number 2 forever now. So he's like,
I mean, not that they're trying to like directly fight each other, because they're both heroes,
Yeah.
which is also another weird aspect of it.
But he wants like the clout, I guess, or he wants that position over All Might. He doesn't want to be number 2.
I want to know their backstory.
But he probably
you have to do like incredible things to be above All Might, pretty much, like, because the things that All Might can do is ridiculous.
If he recognizes Midoriya's power and says that, hey, that kind of reminds me of All Might's power,
which I don't know how everyone is getting that too.
I think it's just that brute strength thing that they're getting, but I don't know what exactly, but I think it's just the brute strength. They probably don't see any other strength like that, and it's comparable to All Might because of that. But
like, who else can you compare?
If he sees that,
then
he knows. I think he recognizes that, and he knows that his son can't make it with just ice if he's anything like All Might.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's also like Sue when they were on the bus on the way to the villain thing, like where the villains showed up. Like she was like, "Oh, Midoriya, your power is kind of similar to All Might. Like how?
Yeah.
How do you like get that from like? I mean, I'm sure they like watched the exam where he fought Bakugo and he punched upwards. But I mean, I guess if they're just comparing like, and I guess Endeavor specifically said in regards to power alone. Not like the quirk being the same, but he's like, in regards to power alone, yours is comparable to All Might.
Yeah.
So he didn't say that it was stronger or whatever. He just said, okay, that's pretty freaking strong. You used 2 fingers, and you created like that much wind pressure.
Yeah.
And so
to be honest, I think that's like the only way you can compare it to.
Yeah.
Is to All Might.
I mean, we just don't know all the heroes. Like, and apparently, I guess if none of them are close to All Might, none of them have a brute force quirk as strong as All Might's.
All Might powers is very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Very overwhelming.
I mean, like, just him being able to, like, punch air and, like, create wind blasts, tornadoes off punches, and all this stuff that he's shown us so far. Like, being able to punch a villain that, like, is supposed to nullify hits, like, and still send him flying, like, All Might's broken. Like...
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing, Bakugo, on sight, always, every time you see Midoriya, want to beat his ass or
he
talk
was like
shit
relaxed
on
and his
sight.
his eyes got all strained and everything immediately. That was funny.
Sight. Oh my god.
Deku.
Like,
but Midoriya was roasting everybody back to back to back. He was
right.
like, these are the facts back to back. So
that also shows how far Midoriya's come, because you know that he wouldn't have said nothing to Bakugo like that while they were in school, in middle school.
See, like with Midoriya, he's not going. He's like.
But I mean, he's still kind of like scared of him.
But
he's like, I'm just keep moving.
But when it comes down to it,
I'm still gonna.
I think he did that for Uraraka, because he was like, when he saw Bakugo, he was like, I'm gonna just keep moving, and then he was like, that dumb girl's playing. What you say?
You know what's
like, that was all
though?
her.
It's kind of funny because how we spoke like a while ago in a discussion. We said something about Bakugo and Midoriya balancing each other out as rivals because they have what each lacks. I feel like Midoriya's obviously been overly humble to where he's been insecure. I feel like he's finally starting to come out of that and have a bit more of his own pride and confidence in his quirk and what he can do. And then we see Bakugo becoming more humble. So they're kind of raising up in what they lack, which is cool to see.
I think they also straighten each other out as far as, like, what the other one fails to see. Like, because of how they are. Like, if Bakugo's too strong or too prideful, you thought that was my plan. That was Uraraka's plan. You need to respect her more as a strategist and as a person. But then again, like, later on, Bakugo could tell Midoriya something, too. Like, you're being too soft. You need to, you know, be able to do this. And maybe they can be, like, friends in the future. Because that would be cool for them to be, like... And
Vegeta and Goku, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, but then there's, like, the presence of Todoroki. I really, like... I wonder where his arc is going to end up. Because, like, right now they're setting them up kind of like a... And I know you guys don't know much about that. But, like, they're setting them up like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji right now. Having, like, a big three of all the characters that we know. Like, as far as the students, at least. Having, like, a big three where there's three people that are always the strongest. And then everyone else is just, like, kind of like a surrounding, supporting character. So that's kind of how it feels. Like, they have, like, a Luffy... And, you know, like, Luffy and Zoro are equal to each other, and Sanji's just a little bit weaker than both of them. So maybe we'll have, like, in the future, maybe it's... I could see... I mean, Todoroki's quirk is OP, so maybe it's Midoriya and Todoroki that are, like, Luffy and Zoro. They're equal in power. And then, like, Bakugo is just a little bit under them in power. But then again, we really have to see how they, you know, develop and stuff like that in the future, how they choose to use their powers from here going forward. You know, stuff like that. Hopefully, like, no one pulls a evil, like
I can totally see Todoroki go
Sasuke.
evil though. I can totally see Todoroki.
Yeah, I can see that too.
For me, I haven't said this yet, but I guess I'm gonna put it out there now because you guys said that. But I've been thinking, I'm like, what if? Because they got it. This anime setting itself up to be really super big. Maybe going for a long time. Maybe. And I'm thinking they got to have a major plot twist with one of these characters. I don't know which one, but there's got to be one in the work. And for me, I'm like, you know, Todoroki, one of the best ways to go against his dad is to be a villain. Not even be a hero is to be a villain. And I don't want to see that happen, but I could see that happening. You know, I could see it being a potential.
I mean, he has made some kind of villain faces so far. That face that he made against Zero.
Well, yeah, and he hasn't. I mean, he's had a good moment. Like,
I mean, he's been very respectful.
Exactly, he's had like a good attitude. He's cold because of his past and his upbringing, but he hasn't shown any qualities of being a bad person and not caring about others and not being heroic at the core. But you never know. But
also, again, like, speaking like from experience, like, I think that even when you go through all of that and it seems like to other people that you're like a really good person on the outside and stuff like that, all it takes is like that little bit more, that little push to like push you kind of like over the edge where you're just like not wanting to be good anymore.
And that being said, we've seen him show a little sign of, whoa, you okay? When he snapped and made the freaking gigantic glacier and could have easily killed
Sarah.
He said, sorry,
he could have easily killed him. He got caught up in that piece of anger, that little thing that puts him over the edge. And
beyond
he went
Sarah,
crazy.
like the audience. Like they were saying literally here when they were introducing him, they're like, the man that literally froze the audience. Like,
and if they're setting him and Midoriya up to be rivals, I mean, it'd be a perfect setup for a villain versus hero. But who knows?
I mean, it's also interesting because what I assume from this point is that Bakugo, being one of the top three that I mentioned before, will continue to advance, and he's on the other side of the bracket. So that means whichever one of them wins, I would just think that the final match would be, and I want to say that it's Midoriya versus Bakugo, which would equal Midoriya winning. But it's like all comes down to how Midoriya is gonna win.
Well, let's go. Let's go on to the next episode.
I'm so excited.
Before we do go into the next episode, we should talk about who we think are, because now they're in the second round of the tournament pairing. So what's left is Midoriya versus Todoroki. We have Ida versus the Vine Girl.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I think that she could just tie him up with the vines.
But can she catch him?
But I mean, it's a small arena. You know what I mean? Like she spreads out her vines in every direction among the whole arena. Like maybe
she can cut off her vines and then. I don't know.
Whip something we don't even know.
We don't know the limitations of her vines.
Because she knew exactly how to deal with Kaminari, which means that she's actually pretty smart. Like, she grounded his electricity and then snatched him up.
Yeah, she didn't give him a chance.
I think, maybe.
I think, so I guess we'll start with the Midoriya match first. I am still going to go with Midoriya.
Me too.
Midoriya.
It has to be the setup,
And then for the Ida...
But I just want to know how he's going to win, but Midoriya.
Yeah. For the Ida match, I'll go with the Vine Girl. I think her name is Shiozaki, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm
going to go with Ida.
Ooh, I'm going to be the tiebreaker.
I fuck with Ida, even though y'all think I don't.
I
said that from the very beginning.
I didn't say I don't.
No, not you.
Oh, okay,
the comments.
I'm almost gonna do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
How can you eeny, meeny, miny, mo support somebody?
I hate you, but
two of my friends.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Vine Girl.
Why?
Just because I don't know the limitations of her vines. I really don't. All I know is Ida's extremely fast. But she
I straight up forgot about Ida's Recipro
his
burst.
turbo thing.
Yeah.
So all I know is that he's super fast, and so I'm like having a hard time balancing these out in my head.
I mean,
but I don't know her limitations.
That's low key a speed feat though.
Nah,
because I'm still gonna go with Shiozaki, but I'm just saying like that's a speed feat because like think about they were like 10 seconds left in the combat thing, and when he used it, they were like 8 seconds left. Or something like that. So that means in like that 1 second, got all the way over to Midoriya, snatched his headband, went across the other side of the arena, and they came to a stop. And they were like, friggin' Kaminari and Yaoyorozu were like, what just happened? Did we move?
I'm gonna go with Fine Girl though.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with Shiozaki.
I'm lone wolfing.
I think she can also trip him. Just trip him when he goes super speed. He gonna fly out of bounds. Yeah, exactly.
Boy, I hope they don't do Ida like that. But I still think that
he could get disrespected the whole friggin' tournament.
Poor
not just one.
He tried to take a big strong stand at the beginning of it all, and then he gets embarrassed all the way through.
And then the
the
next matchup after that would be Tokoyami versus Mina. The acid girl versus Tokoyami. I mean, I just think Dark Shadow's broken, so I'm gonna just go with Tokoyami.
I'm gonna go with Tokoyami too.
Who y'all think? Okay. It's
Tokoyami. I mean, Mina might low-key surprise me because she definitely has a lot more agility than Yaoyorozu. She might be able to dodge Dark Shadow.
I'm picking Tokoyami no matter what. Even if it's Todoroki versus Tokoyami, I'm going to pick Todoroki.
I ain't going Tokoyami.
You mean you're going to pick Tokoyami?
No, I said Todoroki.
We also don't know, we also don't know how intangible, or not intangible, but, how unaffected Dark Shadow is by powers. Because you remember when Bakugo flew up and hit Dark Shadow, and Dark Shadow was like, yeah, block. Block. He was like,
I eat those. You know what I'm saying?
Get down. Get back down to the ground,
that's
please.
For lunch, dinner, brunch, all that shit.
So then we're all picking Tokoyami for that.
Yeah.
So then after that, we have Bakugo versus Kirishima.
Bakugo.
I mean, Bakugo, but, I wonder how well Kirishima's hardening can, withstand the explosion.
That's interesting, but I just feel like at this point, Bakugo can overwhelm someone like him easily. And outsmart him. I haven't seen much. I've seen a lot of bronze from Kirishima. I haven't seen a lot of intelligence just yet. So I don't know if he's reached that yet. I don't know if we haven't seen it or if he just hasn't reached that level, but I think Bakugo.
So what about so when they move on to the top 4 based off of who we all think are going to win, that would be Midoriya versus Ida. Or Shiozaki in either one of our cases, and then Bakugo versus Tokoyami. I mean, I think that Bakugo would win because Bakugo and Midoriya have to advance for that final fight.
Can this be that nighttime? Can we get Tokoyami?
I know that's what sucks.
I mean,
for him.
also his Bakugo's explosions can kind of be counted as light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, but he also ate a huge blast from Bakugo, so I don't know how the light thing works, or how
would the final fight really be Midoriya and Tokoyami like?
Hey, we never know. Tokoyami might be the hidden goat.
Hey, Tokoyami, that's my dude. I'm picking Tokoyami.
Like, let's be real.
Why not?
He gonna be like, one for all, get smacked up by Dark Shadow.
Because I don't even care to see the final fight be Midoriya. Like, for views,
Dang.
I don't want to see
don't
Midoriya.
be dissing Tokoyami like
I'm
that.
not dissing. Did I diss him?
Yes,
No.
you did.
You did. You low-key
Okay,
were
would you rather see Midoriya versus Bakugo, or would you rather see
I'd rather see
Tokoyami
Midoriya versus
No,
Tokoyami.
You're just saying that. We all know that's
She
not
is mad
true.
because Todoroki not in the pairings no more.
Yeah, bye Todoroki.
Bye
Exposed.
Todoroki.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Bye Todoroki. But anyways, guys, we're gonna get into the next super hype episode. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. Comment down below. Let us know your favorite part of the episode, and be sure to share with all your friends and check out the Patreon for additional bonuses. But with that being said, this has been Josh, Marissa, and Randrell from Let's Plays Animes, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
We'll see you in episode 10.
Bye, guys.
Let's see if we cry. Bye.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna cry.